Red Wings Live on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Arby's. It's the most wonderful time of the year, if only perhaps for the fact that it seems that Jim Harbaugh has finally made up his mind. Welcome to Red Wings Live. I'm John Keating with Darren Elliott. You'll hear from Chris Osgood in a matter of moments. You're home for Christmas, but then there is that feeling of dread when you have to pack up and hit the road. Red Wings are using the Bah Humbug travel agency these days. 19 to the next 26 are on the NHL road. The Wings needed the break, and after 3 days off, Darren, it's always interesting to see what that first game back looks like. And even that first period, because coaches, sometimes what they'll see is a fast and loose approach, and suddenly the game is 2-2 after 10 minutes, or it's morning skate mode when all of a sudden it's just about finding your legs and not much happens until the second period. All right, we're anxious to see what the Wings and Senators look like tonight. There are always returns attached to the Christmas holidays, most of them because something didn't fit. Well, sometimes it's because something wasn't liked. Atrocious is a word that's bandied about on the days following the holiday, usually involving a husband's shopping choices. But for the Wings, it's happy returns, we think, tonight. And with more on that, to Ottawa we go, and we bring in Trevor Thompson. T.
Hey, John, happy indeed, especially for the Red Wings, who last year were bitten bad by the injury bug. This year, not so bad. But in that game on Tuesday night against the Sabres, both Nicholas Cromwell and Stephen Weiss had to leave the game early, did not return after suffering headshots. They were questionable going into tonight's game, but both will play. And that's good news for Weiss, who's already missed 13 games so far this year. He definitely did not want to miss any more time. Cromwell has played in every game so far and will play here tonight. So as I say, good news on the injury front for the Wings coming into this one against the Sens.
I feel good. I feel good. I was just saying, it feels good as of now. We'll see how it feels tonight. Just got dinged there a little bit, but wasn't much more than that.
Is there concern going forward with you, especially if you take a headshot, considering your history with concussions?
I don't think so. That's just kind of something that's part of it. It happens every now and then, and it's not much more than that.
I just got hit, got tagged with a good hit, and I got my bell rung a little bit, but felt fine right after, and no ill effects the last couple of days, so ready to go.
Okay, so no concerns moving forward. Looking forward to tonight then.
Absolutely, yeah. No, nothing crept up over the last couple of days. Just enjoyed a couple of days off, and all set to go for tonight.
Weiss and Cromwell not the only ones playing tonight. After missing 3 games with a sore groin, Jimmy Howard will get the start for the Red Wings here in net tonight as they begin this road trip. Well, one of many games on the road for the Wings coming up over the next month. John, back inside the studio to you for now.
All right, Trev, thanks. We'll rejoin you shortly. Well, let's talk of Jimmy Howard. I mean, everybody needs a bit of a break around the holidays, but this is a guy who's trying to develop a groove, and he found one of those grooves, and then all of a sudden Peter Mrazek has to come in for a bit.
Yeah, and I talked to Jimmy Howard about it, and he goes, it was really good news at Christmas time for him. It was a Christmas present, if you will, that it wasn't an extended stay on the IR. He's been so good, especially through 60 or 65 minutes this year, probably top 5 in the league in those situations. We won't talk about the other. This is his fine work. In-game action, Jimmy Howard, fantastic all season long, battling, stealing the ice better than I've ever seen him, and that left-hand larceny, he's displayed it all season long. Jimmy Howard, good to see him back in the net. The last time we saw the Senators, it was the former Babcock assistant Paul McLean coaching them. Well, he got the ziggy. Dave Cameron, his assistant, took over, and the Senators went 3-3-1 in the time since he took over. There's always that initial burst after a coaching change, but that seems to have slowed here just a little bit. Yeah, the team is what it is, and it's been hard to figure them for offense all season long. They had a little burst back to having a hard time scoring goals. But the good news is Dave Cameron's a good man, been in the game a long time, was a lifer. I really loved his press conference after his first game. They lost the game, but he enjoyed the moment, as he should. But he does have a real tough task with that team to try to get back in the playoff race. All right, so the Senators and the Red Wings coming up on a Saturday night in Ottawa tonight. Mike Babcock rattled off his list of importance. Stuffing, red wine, Santa. Those would have his focus during the NHL's mandated 3-day holiday break. No games, no practices, no peeking at presents.
But the tricky part is starting on the road the first day back. That required a flight leaving this morning at 8, then right to the rink to get back on their skates a bit, a chance to nap, a game tonight, and then off to Boston right after. Certainly a different kind of a day for these creatures of habit.
And the only thing that's different is hopping on the plane in the beginning. You know, we still, the rest of the day here from here on out is going to be exactly the same. So, you can't really use that as an excuse.
I think just getting a pregame skate in was good for us, and kind of just getting our legs back. And I mean, it was only 2-3 days off or whatever, and try to get in a small workout when you have the days off. So I don't think it should be a big deal.
It's the game within the game. See if you can guess what we're thinking. A frightening concept, isn't that? As you watch tonight, make your pick as to who should be the McDonald's player of the game. The process presented by the new fresh-baked McCafe Blueberry Muffin. We'll reveal our choice later tonight during our post-game edition of Red Wings Live. Chris Osgood working the game tonight alongside Ken Daniels in Ottawa. And since he's handy, we'll bring him in to relive one of his best hockey moments. It happened on this night 4 years ago. We'll share that milestone with you and with Ozzy when Red Wings Live continues in a skosh. Red Wings Live on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by Motor City Casino Hotel, 1,000,000 miles away, right down the street. There are many things that I just don't get. But that Chris Osgood isn't in the Hall of Fame is among them. Only 9 other goalies in hockey history have more victories than does Ozzy. A third-round pick of the Wings in '91, he cracked the NHL 2 years later, playing his way past Bob Asenze into the starting job. And the '98 Cup win was his. On this night 4 years ago, Ozzy beat the Avalanche in Denver as Niklas Kronwall scored the gamer in overtime, and that would be his 400th career NHL win. He would retire the following summer. And the Ice's loss was television's gain, because now very handsome matinee star Chris Osgood works with us. And he is working the game tonight in Ottawa with Ken Daniels as Mickey Redmond celebrates his 67th birthday in Plaid at home tonight. Ozzy, congratulations on the anniversary. How much do you recall about that night in Denver?
Just nervous because I had some good opportunities 2 or 3 times previous to that game before Christmas, and really was trying to get it over with by the Christmas break, and lost a heartbreaker at home, I think, to Dallas. They scored late and then scored in overtime to win the game. And then went to Colorado, and it was a tough night. I believe it was back-to-back. Played the Avalanche, who had that young up-and-coming team. So saw a lot of shots, and then it went to overtime once again. Scored a late goal to tie it up 3-3. But Niklas Kronwall, we got a power play in overtime. Remember when we did get the power play, I was praying that we were going to score, John, that please let it be tonight. And sure enough, it was, and it was good times from that point on. This game was...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
This game was just a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I was 38 at the time. Getting up there in age, and I was exhausted after it, but really relieved, and had a great time with the guys after the game. And that's the memories you have from that is when you get to hang out with the guys in the dressing room and hang out after the game with the guys and celebrate. And that's what it's all about. Without the guys you play with and you're in the trenches with on a yearly and daily basis, things like that would never be possible.
I was going to ask you about that, because you're balancing absolute relief with absolute delight. What kind of a party was it after the game?
Well, we slipped down to the Cherry Cricket, John. You know where that is, just down the road from the hotel in Colorado, and had some fun in there and celebrated. All the guys came over, and we were on a road trip, so we took it easy, had a bite to eat, had some fun, and reminisced a little bit with some of my old teammates about the years gone by. And it's times like that you really remember, when you're just hanging out with the guys that you've played with and been in so many big situations with, and that means a lot. And that was one of those nights. And I remember the guys trying so hard to get me that victory, and knowing that was probably my last year, and didn't really want to become a distraction to what the guys were doing that year. Jimmy Howard was playing great, so I really just wanted to get it over and done with. And that night when Connor scored, for sure, just a relief.
Well, now you found really hard work, this television stuff, and you're back at it tonight. What are you hearing from Jimmy Howard, who makes his first start in a week tonight?
Jimmy said he felt good, and to be honest, I wasn't so sure he was going to start. I thought Peter Mrazek was going to start here in Ottawa. Jimmy Howard's just practiced 2 times prior to coming here to Ottawa. Obviously, pregame skated today, but he said he felt good. He got a lot of shots this morning in practice. He said he felt really good. He said his groin, he has 0 issues with that. He has tweaked it twice so far this season, so the key issue here, the second half, we make sure Jimmy Howard is healthy. He's been having his best season of his career to date, so he's an important factor for the Wings moving forward, and he says he feels great, so he said, why not play? And he's back in tonight, and I expect to see him in Boston as well.
All right, Ozzy, thanks for your trip down memory lane with us, and you'll have a great spot alongside Ken Daniels, Wings and Senators upcoming. Let's show you the shiny list. It's our Xfinity look around the league. No one will catch Marty Brodeur, who is working again. Now with St. Louis, he's followed by Waugh and Belfour and Cujo, Plant, Sawchuk, Esposito, Glenn Hall, Ozzy's hero Grant Fuhr, and then Ozzy himself. Goalkeeping hasn't been a real issue for the Wings lately, although they do get Howard back tonight, as we've discussed. It's goal scoring that has been the bane of their existence. And in a moment, the goal-scoringest Red Wing joins us on the ice. Tomas Tatar heard from when we come back. Red Wings Live brought to you by ZontAuto.com, home of Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Ford, Toyota, and Scion. Brought to you by Flagstar Bank, a proud and official partner of the Detroit Red Wings. And brought to you by your Detroit area Honda dealers. Visit your Detroit area Honda dealers today and go to DetroitHondaDealers.com. Wings and Senators, your television programming tonight. And here's the thing with a hockey team. You need different ingredients. It's the village people. You can't just have the cop. You need the construction worker, too. Tomas Tatar has been told he's not big enough to play in the NHL. Well, he's tone deaf to that notion, of course. 2 goals when the Wings finally broke out of their scoring struggles in their last game. He's now tied for the team lead in goals with 14. And that earns for him a chance to visit with Trevor Thompson on the ice in Ottawa.
All right, John, thank you very much. Joined by Tomas Tatar, who had a couple of goals in that game against the Sabres. And after that game, you told me you're just trying to shoot the puck at net. More about quantity rather than quality. Is that your mentality heading in here tonight?
Yeah, so we have to overshoot the puck again. We had a few days off, so we have to start right off the hop. And we're expecting a really hard game, so we have to skate and get ready for a game.
A couple of days off. How do your legs feel this morning at the morning skate? You knocked some rust off? How are you feeling?
Oh, yeah, we had a rest. I bet everybody did something home, you know, just to feel better. And, you know, it's another game. We have it off, so everybody's excited for a game.
You guys have split the last 2 games in this season series so far. What's the key against these Senators to you guys having success here tonight?
We just have to shoot, and, like, they have really big demons. We have to get under it, you know, try be at the net and score some goals.
All right, good luck on this one, Thomas.
Thank you, appreciate it.
There goes Tomas Tatar. This guy has 4 game-winning goals so far this season. That is tied for second best in the NHL. We'll see how he makes out tonight against Ottawa. John, back to you for now.
Overshoot the puck, eh? When the Senators play opened as the Palladium in '96, it's been known as Scotia Bank Place, and now the Canadian Tire Center. And tonight, our Joe Louis Arena celebrates a significant milestone. More on that next.
Out here, this is 8 Mile. These are our Grand Rapids. We hit the lodge every morning. And we love the Big 3. I'm Jake. I'm John. And we're Lining Kugels. And for 5 generations, we've been brewing America's friendliest craft beer. For all our friends, here, here, and here. So join us. You're going to like it out here. Cheers.
At Walsh College, our MBA graduates go on to lead companies, found startups, and accelerate their careers. I guess you could say our grads have cornered the market on the corner office. The Walsh MBA, where business is turning. All over Michigan, Walsh graduates turn to a network of over 25,000 alumni to help advance their careers. That's more than a foot in the door. Walsh College, where business is turning.
It's the final days of Toyotathon. Final days to get deals on Toyotas nationwide. Your last chance to get a coast-to-coast savings deal on the bold new Camry with 1.9 financing plus $500 bonus cash. Or lease this Camry now for $199 a month with no cost maintenance included. Toyotathon, the biggest national sales event of the year, ends January 2nd. Toyota, let's go places.
It's a birthday, and Joe Louis Arena's had a bunch of them now. So many memories within it. That night that the NHL All-Star Game was there, and Gordie Howe received a 10-minute standing ovation. The emergence of a young Steve Yzerman. The Bruce brothers, Joey Kocur and Bob Probert, exacting justice for one thing or another that happened on the ice. Those brawls against the Avalanche as the Wings began to build into something special. And, of course, the first Stanley Cup won in 42 years, handed off to Mike and Marian Ilitch by Steve Yzerman. The cup that was won in 2002 by what may have been one of the greatest hockey teams ever was won at the Joe. We're now in the long, slow countdown to the new arena downtown, part of the district that will rise up along Woodward Avenue. And when it does, the Joe will be torn down as the revitalization of Detroit takes another step. The Joe isn't cushy, it's historic. Like some of us at a certain age, some makeup is required. It was 35 years ago tonight that the Joe hosted its first Red Wings game. St. Louis spoiled the party that night, winning 3-2. And for those that play the games there currently, there's always a best memory that pops to mind.
You know, definitely my first game here. It was pretty special. It was my first NHL game, and just walking in the building for that game and the atmosphere is it's pretty nice feeling coming down here every day.
Yeah, I got a couple good memories in college, just having the chance to play here in the GLI, and then our usual game versus Michigan here. I always look forward to that, so that was a big highlight. And then definitely my first game as a Red Wing.
One of the things I remember is Steve Yzerman, when I was here in my first year, we were having a shootout and going past the first round. I said to someone, "You're up," and he said, "Nah," he didn't want to go. Yzerman said, "I'm going." He jumped over the boards, one hand, and got out there, and the rink started shaking because he was out there to do the shootout and went down and scored, and we won the game. I remember that. I remember the retirement ceremonies. I think the thing that's been most special are people that have been around forever, and Delvecchio, Howe, and Lindsay, and that bench where they sat that our players get to sit on, pretty special.
If you've been to a playoff game at the Joe, you know that it's unlike any other kind of experience. Do you have a favorite Joe Louis Arena memory?
I do, and I was covering the 2002 Stanley Cup Final, probably because I was the only one that knew the Carolina Hurricanes, because I was doing games down in the Southeast, and it came up, I was doing it for Westwood One Radio, and all of a sudden it was interview time, and everybody else on the TV networks, they were gone away, and I had a chance to get Scotty Bowman, and my producer said, "This is your moment. Keep asking another question, another question." I finally said, "You know how important homework is. You don't know how important it is until you get stuck in that moment." I asked him about the next year, and I said, "Okay, I know you check with your wife, you check with your doctor, you make a decision on the next season." He said, "No, I've already made that decision back in February. I've let a couple players know, haven't told anyone else. This is it for me." And my ears were ringing. And but did you just say that you're done coaching? He said, "Yep, that's it." And the Joe was abuzz again.
And the lesson there is we always do what the producers tell us to do. Isn't that right?
Sometimes.
Well, it's loud there at the Joe, but it's a home ice advantage unlike any other in the National Hockey League. In fact, since 2000, no team has had more home playoff games than the Wings. Walsh College presents the business of hockey. The Wings have had 80 playoff games at the Joe in that time frame, well separated from San Jose and Boston and New Jersey and Philly and Pittsburgh. And the way you have home playoff games is finding regular season success. And to do that, you score goals, and especially when you have to, when you're a man up on the other guy. We'll talk of all that and getting going once again when we come right back. Red Wings have played 22 home games. They're just 6-4-3 on the road, and they're in this stretch in which they'll play lots of games away from the Joe. And with the extra man, they were 4 for 6 in their win at home on Tuesday night. Their power play, even around that goal-scoring desert in the previous 6 games, is 4th in the NHL now. You want your power play to be just bad boy dangerous.
it's something you do as a team. You do something well. I mean, you get guys in front of net. You work hard to get second and third opportunities. You usually don't score on your first shot in this league. The goalies are so good. And you got to have a guy in front of net. But sometimes it's also bounces. But I think so far we've been doing a pretty good job. We had a little bit of a slump there for 6 games, but it was nice to score some goal last game again.
You know, when it goes in when it bounces, but I also think that it's important that we play as a heavier team. We spend more time in front of the net. We're harder on pucks in the offensive zone. The more time you spend there, the more goals you're going to score. So we got work to do.
Well, there's gravy attached to scoring when you have the extra man, when you're on the power play, and it just saps your energy when you get chances and you don't make much of them. Let's take a look at why it's important in our Miller Lite breakdown tonight.
Well, one thing that the coach just talked about, heavier on the puck retrieval the other night. First time they've scored 4 power play goals this season in a game. Doesn't happen that often. Deflection in front. You'll see lots of activity coming up with loose pucks, putting them back at the net, and you'll notice all the ever-present net front presence. The other thing your offense can get going is activity from the blue line. It hasn't been there that consistently this year. Danny DeKaiser having a nice year that way. This is a beautiful play. Brendan Smith down to Tomas Tatar, so those are the kinds of things that can really help your offense.
All right, Wings and Senators coming up just on the other side of the top of the hour. Let's get into the one-timers, and this Senators team, they've got some talent.
Oh, they do. They certainly do. And up front, they're led by Bobby Ryan. I mean, he's a guy that gets a lot done against your Detroit Red Wings, 11 goals in his 25 games. And Carlson, yes, he wears the C cap, and he has 3 points already against the Red Wings in the 2 games this season. It comes at a price, so not very good defensively. This man plays both offense and defense. He had 24 minutes of nice time last game. And Tomas Tatar, I think he feels it. He felt it last game on the power play, and it could be because he scored in the shootout the game before.
Yeah, and Tatar is a guy who has the ability to get this Red Wings team going. Wings 1-1 against the Senators this season. Off to Ottawa, to Ken Daniels and Chris Osgood on the other side of a break.